Zilla Army Baby, what is going on? A new thing in the Rainbow Six community over on YouTube is concept videos. So what they do is they go in, they create new operators, they create new gadgets, they create new weapons, everything like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna check out a video from Kudos here, and this is 10 new additions for year 10 of Rainbow Six Siege, which starts in I believe like 38 days from the time I'm recording this. So we're gonna see what he's got going on here, and I'm pretty excited because this guy's got some pretty good insight. So let's check it out.
All right, with year 10 of Rainbow Six Siege being the game's 10th anniversary, pretty safe to say that this is one of the most anticipated years ever. And with us getting
That's
very
true.
close to the reveal of the roadmap, I'm going to share with you 10 things I want to see in this year, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree as well. Now, disclaimer, I'm not just going to say, I want new operators and I want new maps. That's a boring answer. Everyone wants that stuff. I want to talk about some other aspects which have been neglected over the years.
Here's the thing about new map in Rainbow Six Siege: a new map comes out and everybody hates it for like years, and then people learn it, and then they end up not hating it. I've only been playing this game for almost a year, and I already know that. Like, it's blatantly obvious, but I mean, we all have our favorites, though, right? Yeah.
Years that I'd love to see more of in year 10. We're getting so close to that 200k mark, I can smell it. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button. It's free. If you don't like me, you can always unsub in the future. I get it. And if you're already subbed,
That's fair.
Thank you. You're a legend. Right, let's jump straight into this list.
Laying down some smoke.
Right, so the first one is going to be a brand new secondary gadget, both for attack
Okay.
and for defense. Off the top of my head, the newest gadgets for both sides is the Impact EMP nades and the Observation Blocker. Might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure those are the latest additions for each side. And
Those
they've
Impact
been in the
EMPs
for
are
a
awesome.
decent while now. So I think we are beyond overdue a brand new secondary gadget. We talk about this a lot in the Mailbox series. Make sure you join that series if you haven't already. Really fun series we run on this channel. But a fun one which has popped up a lot for a new attacking secondary gadget is an Incendiary Grenade, which would simply just be a small fire area of effect, basically a Molotov cocktail, and it can kind of just be a pocket version of Capitao. Similar to how the Impact EMP nades is a small version of Thatcher, it'd be a smaller version of Capitao without rendering him useless. It could also be used in the same way that grenades are used for area denial, but of course it doesn't have the explosive effect which grenades have, where grenades may be a bit too strong for currently. And for defense, I've actually not got one off the top of my head, so if you have an idea for a brand new secondary gadget for the defenders, drop it in the comments right now.
Portable UAV. You throw it down, it gives you one ping. There. That was easy. Chat should make videos like this. Holy cow. I say chat, but I'm not live. You know what I mean.
I want to see what everyone's idea is for this.
Twitch.tv/Northyzilla.
It's been a hot minute since we got a new secondary gadget added to the game. Operation New Blood would have been a perfect opportunity to add some, I think, because the recruits mainly focus around secondary gadgets, so adding a new one to either side would have probably made that season more interesting than it was. But yeah, I'd love to see some new additions in year 10.
Details.
Right, another...
So the thing about that Molotov is that would make Capital useless. I know he gave a caveat to that, but Capital is already useless. He's picked nil. And if he does get picked, you're in silver lobbies. I'm not silver, I'm Heartstuck Gold. It doesn't matter.
Another thing I like to see in year 10 is a rework to the Alpha Pack system. I think Alpha Packs are currently the most boring pool of cosmetics in modern day gaming. When a weapon skin which released almost a decade ago is your most desirable thing in Alpha Packs, then I think you're doing something wrong. They hardly ever put new skins in there.
Yeah,
hardly ever update
that's fair.
them, and it's kind of just full of lame duplicates rather than anything interesting.
I'm still a new player, so this is still a rush.
Get rid of Bravo Packs and just make Alpha Packs basically what Bravo Packs are. No duplicates, remove all that filler garbage from them as well, and actually put effort into making cool, interesting new skins each season, rather than just having a bunch of seasonal recolors dumped in them, as well as Black Eyes, who anyone who's played this game now doesn't really care about anymore because it's been done to death. Alpha Packs are so incredibly boring. The last time I even
see, that's royal. I love that.
Probably
I love that. That's cool.
I care about absolutely no skins in there, and it's one of those things that started off very interesting, but has just lost any value over time. And there's just no cool skins in there anymore. It's really sad because there's potential for Alpha Packs to be amazing. Even though I'm tired of Black Eyes, add a color variant of it. Maybe it looks purple.
I'm gonna add one more to this
Instead of blue, and
get rid of this. When you can see what color it is on the very like tip of the pack, get rid of that. I don't like that. Open the pack and then you see what it is. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go. You've just made alpha packs interesting again because there's a new
People have
skin
gotten their
to
content
right.
out of it.
But yeah, they're absolutely
Like there's
boring
no reason
and
for it.
Ubisoft have been
There's no
neglecting
reason for it to
them
be in
for
there
way
anymore
too long.
at all.
Little memento.
Right,
New
another thing
scopes?
I like to see in
Oh,
year
okay.
10 is new scope casings. Now, I think in their current state, scopes are fine. I'm glad we have the one-time scope. I
Grim.
think ACOG being 2.5 is fine. I don't want any of that changed specifically. But we would have new variations of the existing scopes. So we would have
Whoa.
holographic E or, you know, red dot.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Versions of already existing scopes would just be really cool because this would then be applied to every single weapon in the game. So already existing weapons, which have been in the game for almost a decade, will have a somewhat new feature to them. I mean,
Okay. Any person who has played Call of Duty in the last 5 years knows that is a terrible idea. That is an absolute terrible idea. The fact that you have 8,000 different sights for one gun, everybody hates it.
I remember
Absolutely
how
hates
cool
it.
was when operators such as Mozzie released and he brought a new holographic to the game. And now this was a time when different scopes were limited to operators. So this holographic which Mozzie has was only available on Mozzie's P10 Roni, if I'm not wrong. And
Okay,
then
that's
they done
different
an
though. Okay,
update. I
yep.
can't remember what season it was, but basically they just allowed every operator to use every scope because some of them were only available on Russian operators, for example. They had their own exclusive set of holographics, red dots, reflex, and
Got
ACOG.
shit
Not
on.
anyone can use them. So I think it'd be pretty cool if we continue that because it was a really cool thing when they got opened up more and when new ones would come to the game. So just continue to add more of them. I'm not saying that a new one has to come every season, but at least one new holographic or red dot or reflex in year 10, I think would be pretty cool. It would make the weapons look a little bit different, and it would
Oh no, he did not get a heady off that.
which I think a lot of
Oh,
people would
that's
really
crazy.
enjoy.
Did anyone remember to bring the ammo?
Now, this next one is definitely something we need, and that's an operator mastery system. I'm talking a full progression list for every single operator in the game. At the end, you get an exclusive headgear, uniform, weapon skin, player card portrait, player card background, and as well as this, one of the new badges, which is one of the newer features in the game, but that would look amazing for every single
Notice how he said
operator.
and.
It would give you a reason to grind out every single operator even more, and it's just a really fun reward for playing these operators and playing the game. And you can show off to other people that you like playing Ace a lot and you've completed his mastery.
Yeah, the big thing there was he said and. He wants all those things like encapsulated into one mastery. Yeah, that's smart.
I mean, for all it's
That's
worth,
dope.
Rainbow Six Extraction, one of the things that kept me playing to 100% complete that game was the fact that there was an operator prestige and mastery system, and I actually found grinding the operators and improving their level was one of the most enjoyable things about that game. So implementing that in Siege would definitely be a positive, and I think everyone would agree with me when we say we want this. Right, this next one is one of the things that you all said in the comment section, and I have to agree with you, and that would be weapon inspection. Now, although I said that I feel like Siege is very lacking in the skin department, there are a lot of really good skins in the game for weapons, but a lot of them, you actually can't see the full skin, so you don't get the full effect for the weapon skin that you've paid for. Well, weapon inspection would be a really fun way for you to see more
I
of the
still
weapons
cannot
that you
believe it's
bought, and
2025
especially if they are
and
to create more better weapons.
Rainbow
That's
Six
really
Siege
cool.
does not have weapon
Dude,
inspection.
it would help
That is
people
that
buy
is
them more.
crazy to
It's pretty
me.
much a win for Ubisoft and a win for the consumer. If we can see our paid skins more, we're more likely to buy them, and if we're more likely to buy them, you're going to get more money. So I think weapon inspection is one of the most beneficial things in the game for everyone. So as little impact it may sound as a feature, it would actually be really cool, and I would love to see all my weapon skins in a new way. Plus, it'd be kind of cool to meme on people in a kill cam.
Jaeger has the worst luck.
Another thing I like to see them do in year 10 is make usage of the underbarrel option in the weapon loadout. So although this
Oh,
has
he
its
about
own
got shit on
category,
there.
there's only really ever been one underbarrel option, and that's been the laser sight. With laser sight actually having a visual change very recently, last season if I'm not wrong, it does go to show that they are still, you know, giving attention to that section, but we only have a laser sight. So I think it could be potentially quite cool if we get a new underbarrel option for every weapon. Of course,
I'm not 100% certain on this, but I think putting a laser on your underbarrel gives you faster ADS. I think that's what it is. That's insane to me. That seems so silly, but I mean, here we are. Yeah, 2025.
course, it would have a stat which would improve your operator, with there being a downside as well. The downside of laser sight currently is that people can see your laser sight, which therefore gives away your position. We could even do something as simple as a different colored underbarrel laser sight, but instead of it granting you faster ADS time like the current red version does,
Oh, there we
it
go.
would have
Alright.
a different benefit. I feel like when you look at the
Add
loadout
weight, get
section of
faster
the game, this is a
ADS.
thought
Makes
which
sense.
has never really been expanded upon anymore, so I think that could be something quite cool to look into in year 10.
Now I see what you're up to.
Something else I want to see
Map
with
buffs.
are map buffs. These were minor changes to already existing maps, which didn't warrant an entire rework or an entire season dedicated to them, but they would be smaller map changes.
God, this guy's
that would overall
nasty!
improve the existing map that would come in a season alongside everything else, but wasn't classed as the primary content, and could even launch alongside a new map or another dedicated remaster to a different map. Like Cafe Dostoyevsky, for example, is a map which I think is almost good, but because of its really bad spawn design and a very limiting top floor, I personally don't like it as much as I used to. So I think maybe cleaning up the spawns, adding more cover, and not making it as spawn peak heavy, because listen, I'm not one to complain about spawn peaks, but Cafe is just bad design. There's a big difference there. But cleaning up the spawns, as well as maybe making the exterior balcony extend to outside of piano and putting an upstairs breachable wall there, that would be enough to fix Cafe in my opinion. So it doesn't need an entire season dedicated rework, but just a little buff like that to change the map and improve it would be something very nice. And just continuously doing that to a lot of maps, because then I feel like you're going to make every map eventually the best version of what it can be without necessarily having to change the entire map itself. They used to do this quite a lot in the past, so I really hope they bring this back in year 10 because I actually really like it. And sometimes it just makes more sense than doing a full rework.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So basically what I think he's saying is just like take shit out of the map that's already there. I would love for Cigar Lounge. This would be kind of cool. Take all that shit out of there. All the sofas, all the chairs, all that stuff. Just take it out. Just take it out. And then you would have to play that map completely different. Even take the piano out if you want to. I did learn the other day though, and I'm not even lying here, chat. I said chat again.
Really bad. So listen, I'm not one to complain about spawn peaks, but
So
Cafe is
this-
just bad design. There's a big difference.
I just learned this like
Cleaning up
literally
the
last night
spawns,
while I was at
as
work.
well as maybe making the exterior
So he's gonna
balcony
rotate over
extend
here.
outside of
This little area that he's in right here, this is called bitch. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea.
piano and putting in upstairs.
Yeah, that little area right there, it's called bitch. I had no idea.
So I really feel rework.
One shot, one kill.
Right, maybe this is just me, but something I think we really need is an individual volume slider for each person on your team. Maybe this is more
Yes!
of an issue, but when
Oh
someone
my
votes
God,
like
yes,
that, someone can be
please!
really quiet and someone can be really loud, and we only have one volume slider in the settings menu to handle both of them. But I think it would be really nice if we could turn our teammates' volume up or down, depending if they need to be louder or quieter, without having it to be a universal feature. This is something which a lot of stuff has as a standard now when you're in a call with someone, so I think it'd be quite good to update Siege's one to have that option, because it's just a nice quality of life change, adds a bit of frustration when someone's too loud, someone's too quiet, and you can't manage between them. Sometimes I'll have a teammate who's giving genuinely good calls, but he's that loud.
Oh my
that
God, he's got
actually
balls
starts to
too.
piss me
Holy
off
shit.
and annoy me. I know it's nothing insanely massive, but it would be a really good quality of life change, which I would love.
No comment.
Right, this one might be very controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. I would actually like to see the removal of map bans from ranked. Now, I think the map bans has heavily stagnated the pool. I remember playing before map bans, and when you got a map that you weren't very
Do
good
I hate
at, or you
this?
didn't necessarily like, too bad. You were forced to play it, forced to learn it, and eventually you would actually become very good at the map. And
Yeah.
I think if we done this treatment again, overall, it would make the average player better at every single map because they would be forced to learn it or lose every time. Whereas having map bans just gives you the comfort to always ban a map you haven't even given a chance to learn yet, and I think it's made the average player not as good as they used to be. Rainbow Six Siege is a game all
God,
about
he's got a
adapting
point.
to different changes.
Like I was saying earlier, the reason people hate maps is because they don't know them. Everybody likes Oregon. Oregon's been in the game for 9 years, 8 years. This game's been out for 10 years, and Oregon was added like year 2, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, but people know Oregon. People love Oregon. I personally hate Oregon. I get shit on in Oregon, but I'm not even joking. Like, I'm pretty sure people just hate the maps because they don't have them memorized top to bottom, left to right.
Changes and
Yeah.
pushing you outside of your comfort zone. So I think
I
giving
think I
players
like
more
this.
option to push themselves into their comfort zone, especially in a ranked mode, doesn't really work that much, and you should really be pushed out of it. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but I definitely think it should.
But
be.
also, that's what standards for, right?
And this next change is going to be one for all my fellow lore heads, and that would be an in-game lore tab. Whether you like the lore or not, the game is
A lore
built around
tab.
it, and there's a lot of background effort which is put into it. And for the most part, a lot of players don't get to see that, and I'm one of the main outlets which actually presents it. So I think actually having a proper official in-game tab to follow the lore would be beneficial for every single player, and it would help get people more entwined with it. I mean, we already have stuff like the in-game bios. Just expand on that even more, tell us a story, have a place for us to read the webcomics and see the cinematics in a chronological order, and help explain the lore to the players. As much as I love being the lore guy, we need an official outlet as well, so I would love to see an in-game tab dedicated to the lore. And so everyone, those are 10 additions I would love to see.
You know what?
in year
That
10
last
of
one's
Rainbow
nice.
Six Siege.
If they
Be
add
sure
some
let me know your
cinematics
thoughts
to
in
it
the
too, that'd be
comments
nice
below.
too.
What would you
You know what I'm
like to
saying?
see in year 10? Really interested to hear your thoughts. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you later. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.
Good video. Absolutely good video. Go follow him over at Kudos on YouTube, and I believe he's on Twitch as well. I didn't. I would have liked to hear like a concept for an operator. He does have an operator concepts video out that just came out a couple days ago, but you know, I'm not gonna react to that just yet because it's still new. So, but yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, the Molotov cocktail, I didn't agree with him, and then the not being able to come up with some for defenders, I came up with something like 2 seconds. Like I don't know, I just hit my hand on my desk. Ow, that hurt. All right, hug somebody today. No around 2x, send a text, make a phone call. You never know whose life you can change. All right, I'll talk to you later. Peace.